Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm here for the New Year book tag. Sorry for two tags in one day. I was supposed to do one video about the Silmarillion today, and it didn't happen, so I figured I would make up for it with two tag videos. But so this is the New Year book tag, and I wasn't tagged. In his video, Steve Donahue did up this tag. At the end, he tagged everyone, and then sort of indirectly implied several people he wanted to tag. He mentioned a recluse from the American South and a brainiac from Britain and a few others, but he failed to mention recluses who live in the Midwest. But I forgave him the slight and just went ahead and considered myself tagged anyway. Anyway, the first question is, how many books do you want to read in 2018? And I am going without a reading goal in terms of numbers for this year. When I was starting out as a devoted reader, the reading goals were really good for me to just motivate me, but now reading has really become its own reward for me, and so I almost always overshoot, honestly, and I don't say that in a self-aggrandizing way, I just say it as a fact. I had 50 books as my first year, I read 65. The next year I had 75 as my goal, I read 85. This past year I also had 75, and I technically read 100, although a lot of those were Shakespeare plays, and I feel like there's an argument to be made that a Shakespeare play doesn't really count as one entire book. But anyway, I almost always overshoot, and I don't even pay that much attention, I don't even care that much. So I'm just gonna read as much as I can. And another reason that I don't want to count is because a lot of the books I need to read this year, a lot of the books that I own that I'm going to be reading are huge. I did my haul video the other day, and a lot of them were over 500 pages, and even more were over 400 pages, so I'm not going to focus on numbers. Number 2 is name 5 books that you didn't get to in 2017 that are going to be a priority this year. And I don't have 5 books, but I have 2 books. And they're both kind of books that would be boring to most people. They're both anthologies of articles, of academic articles for my field. So the first is Political Psychology Key Readings. So again, an anthology of articles. You can see double-columned, and not page turners by any means. Quite interesting to me, but even I can get bored by academic articles. About there in this one. So almost done. But it is double-columned again, so it's almost like one page is like the equivalent of 2 pages. So yeah, there's that, and then there's this book, Social and Psychological Bases of Ideology and System Justification. Political psychologists do know how to come up with catchy titles, I know. But I started reading this yesterday, and I'm gonna try and get it done this week, actually. And then this one, since I don't have that much left, I should be able to get it done pretty soon. But yeah, these are the 2. I don't have 5, but yeah. Next, number 3 is, what genre do you want to read more of in 2017? And for me, that's just contemporary books, especially contemporary fiction. I read some contemporary nonfiction, but in terms of, literary fiction published in the past, 20 years or so, I've really done pretty poorly in the past year. So yeah, I just want to read some contemporary fiction. That's the main thing, and I have some books in mind that I'm going to try to get to this year. So number 4, 3 non-book related goals. The first is to hike. I mentioned in my last video that I'm trying to get into hiking, and there are a number of state parks in Illinois that I want to try and hit this spring. I'm going to try to get to my first one next week. We'll see if that happens. So yeah, I just want to hike some. I'm also going to be going to national parks, so I'm going to be preparing to be hiking there. My next goal is to get into a PhD program. That's kind of that's a big one. I have found out that I've gotten 3 interviews so far, so that's a good start. I just need to nail the interviews, and that is a big undertaking, but we'll see how it goes. And then the third is and this is inspired by the book I finished yesterday. I finished Letters to a Young Contrarian by Christopher Hitchens yesterday, and it really inspired me to, express when I disagree with people. I do find myself a lot holding back, mentioning the fact that I find something someone said not necessarily troubling or bad, but just not really sound. And that both in my personal life, both in my own life among my friends, and on BookTube. You know, I have had a few instances where someone has disagreed with me on BookTube, and both times I haven't exactly responded in a way that makes me proud of myself. So I want to get better at responding to disagreements and expressing disagreements in 2017. And then number 5, a book you've had forever that you still need to read. For this, I'm going to go with my copy of the Canterbury Tales. This is a lovely copy. I mean, it's like in a box and everything. But I got it a few years ago when I was just getting into reading. My mom knew that I was interested in reading classics. And so she got it for me for Christmas as an unexpected present. I didn't ask for it. And the problem was that I was mostly interested in like 20th century classics. And so when I got this, it was one of those times where you get a Christmas present that you didn't ask for and you kind of have to pretend to like it. Because I really wasn't the slightest bit interested in reading the Canterbury Tales then. So I've had this probably longer than any other book that is currently in my apartment. But I will be reading it this year. I'm actually budding reading it with Elena Macreadina. So yeah, there's that. Number 6, one word you're hoping 2018 will be. And I went with active. So yeah, the last one is to tag a friend. I think Steve indirectly tagged pretty much everyone who I would tag. So I tag all those people. So yeah, anyway, that is the New Year book tag. That is my last of my sort of new resolution / year in review videos. So yeah, anyway, have a nice day, everyone. Bye.